Let's do it live on a Friday edition of Cleveland Browns Daily. I am merely Beau. He is the great Z.
Were you making fun of my color?
No, I just loved it. I've never seen anybody print. So you printed out Chris Sims' top 40 quarterback countdown, which he does every year, and except you printed it in full color. Like it's a list, but you printed it in full color.
That was what he. That's how he posted it.
The entire right, but you have an option when it comes to print. Like you could print color.
Not
or
at
black
all.
and white.
I'm all
Yes,
about.
you do have an option.
I'm all about you.
At least it's not landscape. Let's just be happy. That
Can you
it's-
imagine like the printer levels after this thing was done? For those on the stream, like the amount of, it's every color in the rainbow.
You're
It
darn
is.
right. I printed 3 of them too.
By the way, did you guys see the Saints helmets they're going to wear?
Yeah, the blacks.
Yeah.
I like that. So where does that mean? Does that mean it's full go for everybody?
Yeah, it's full go. You can wear the second helmet. Everybody's full
So
go.
we
Like
need-
the Falcons have the
Red.
They're wearing that red one which is
a
gorgeous.
beaut.
That thing's gorgeous. So they're wearing that one. The Saints, I think, are only the second one to announce theirs.
We need a white.
Ours in a white would be unbelievable. Yeah, that's the one you got to wear. You wear that with the 75th anniversary uniform. Now we're talking. That's it. What do you got going on?
Being harassed nonsense.
By who? I mean, we're doing a show. Who's coming at you?
A former friend of ours.
A former
Current
friend, of ours.
but
A former friend.
Former business associate of
Former
ours.
associate.
Yeah.
All right. There you go.
Tell him to answer my messages.
Basically, he asked me if I had seen a new music video that had come out. He says it's so great, and I was like, no. Can you send me the link to it? And then he sent me the link to it, and I said thanks. And then I was gonna watch it in the next
Another
commercial.
time, sure. Yeah.
And then he said basically to piss off. in
Sure.
Not as nice a term.
Yeah.
And I was like, why? And he's like, don't you know Google exists? And I was like, I'm doing a show. I'm doing a show right now. Like, I
No
just
one
said the
knows
link.
what we do. No one.
It's like, he should know.
This sneaks
this
up on
individual
everybody.
should know.
Of all the people. He
of all the
should
people,
know.
he should be aware of
Yeah,
that.
should
I
be
am
aware of
going
the
on.
timing of all
Yeah.
of this. Yeah.
Yep.
It should be. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just laughed at the matter of factness. That was pretty.
Yeah.
It was pretty humorous. So I gotta tell you something. What's up?
That's right. That's right.
There she goes. Allison walking by. It's like when they talk about minicamp ending,
Yeah.
I feel like this rivals the Exodus, rivals the opening scene of Dazed and Confused when School's Out for Summer is playing and they are just
yeah.
like tearing out of the building.
Yeah.
Like they gone.
I think
They are gone.
Yeah, it's gone. I would say it's a lot like I would say this is, in the words of Buford T. Justice, sort of baby stuff alongside of what next week's going to look like. Next week, it's going to be the three of us in here on
Yeah.
an island.
Yeah.
I think we're good for another week
4 days. It sounds
on the
like.
sales
4
side
days.
because then
Then the
everybody,
next week when it's like just you and me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, then I'm gone.
I was going to say that's the week that everybody piggybacks the free week off with.
Oh, they stack it.
Yes.
Stack it up. Okay.
Like
so
Zegura's
that'll be-
doing.
I don't mean to stack. I've never stacked before. I have no history of stack.
I'm not going to hold it against you. That you should stack.
I'm not
wouldn't-
holding.
I don't wanna
I did
stack.
it last year.
No, I
Oh.
think it's fine. I have no problem with it. I think it's appropriate. I would
Thank
do it.
you.
I would do it.
By the way, Simze, as you know, but I'm sure letting the people know. So Simze is in Wyoming.
Yeah.
And you told him to go where?
$1 Million Cowboy Bar, I believe,
And
is
he
where I
said it
told him
was
to go in
the
Jackson.
greatest ever.
Yeah, of course.
So they were actually, I was asking him, so they were supposed to go from Montana into Yellowstone and spend some time in Yellowstone and then to Jackson, and Yellowstone got like washed out because you were talking about the rivers, like, but literally like their plans were washed out.
No, yes, legitimately, it's
Yes.
washed out. There were two ways into the park from the north, from Montana into Wyoming. Both are closed. The park is closed.
There you go.
You cannot go.
Right.
And it's not like it's Wally World. Like, this is just nature.
This is
Like
nature,
it's not, and,
natura.
and the nature is closed.
Yeah.
That's how bad the natural disaster is in the home state. The governor of the home state not doing very well. He was in Tuscany while all of this was going on and was not in the fastest hurry to get back to the home state. So people are not thrilled about the fact that he's not there for disaster relief.
He's
Not
in
great.
Tuscany.
Isn't that
Like
why
the
you have a
entire
lieutenant
southern
governor,
part.
though?
Then he had some line about how he's traveling with security. I'm like, brother, settle down. You're the governor of Montana. Let's relax a little bit.
He's in Tuscany.
Settle down.
My wife just had me watch the other day. She really wanted to watch Under the Tuscan Sun, so we watched it.
Jesus
old school Diane Lane.
Good husband job out of you.
It was. I felt like a very
really
yeah,
growing
really,
up out of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every now you got to step up every now and then.
Yeah.
I didn't mind it because it was Italy, and I like Italy, so I didn't mind some of the
I would say, how about we watch Rome instead? You want to watch Rome? Let's watch that.
Let's watch Gladiator.
Fine.
Yeah.
Let's watch that. You can see Italy.
Yeah, I don't think that would have worked.
Did you guys make it last night with the Warriors?
I made it until they were up 15 with 3 minutes to go, and then I was like, okay, it's over. It's officially over. They cut it to 6, and then the Warriors are just like 3, layup, 3. Good night, Irene.
Yeah, that was it. Gibbe, did you make it? Did you watch
I
any
haven't
of it?
watched a minute.
Really?
Wow.
Nope. I hate both teams.
No, I liked both teams. I didn't feel like I could have a loser from a fan standpoint.
Yeah.
I was, however, if I must say, I felt like the Celtics' inability to take care of the basketball, 22 turnovers in this one.
It's pretty glaring.
And they had, 19 the game before?
Yeah.
That's not championship basketball. And hence they are not the champions. But that's not championship basketball. And I felt like Steph finally got the MVP that he deserved, finished with 34, 7, and 7. And, he took care. They did take care of the basketball. When you're +7 in the turnover differential, 7 extra possessions for a team that good, forget it.
Does a couple of things. I think, number one, to me, this closes the door on the AAUification of the NBA that LeBron was a big part in starting when he left here, right? Where, hey, we got to have 3 superstars. Well, what we've seen in the last couple of years is what you actually need is you need to draft and you need to develop your own guys. Because what you need to win championships nowadays is incredible depth. That 2 superstars or even 3 superstars is not enough. That you need 7 or 8 guys who can play because guys are getting hurt at a rapid rate. And if you lose one of those superstars, you lose everything.
Yep.
And so if you look at the teams that have been really good the last couple of years, they're teams that have been built by great organizations who drafted and developed. The Warriors have got to be the smartest organization in the NBA by a pretty distant margin. The idea that they were able to say, okay, Durant, you didn't want to be here, but not take it personal and just say, well, hey, I tell you what, why don't we do a sign and trade and you guys give us D'Angelo Russell back? And then, oh, yeah, but he can't play with – everyone said, oh, yeah, well, he can't play with Clay and Steph. Well, that's fine, but he can for a year while Clay's hurt, and then we can use him to get Wiggins, who's actually a younger, more athletic Iguodala. And now you popped him right in the middle of it.
Perfect fit.
And away you go. So, that – but they drafted all those guys. None of those guys – they're not some free agent destination. They were once with Durant. But the bulk of that thing was built by their drafting and their developing.
It's amazing when I watched Wiggins, and I think you made a very good point. He was a perfect complement to what they did. And I feel like he's such a perfect kind of role player plus. He's
a good 3. He's a good third option.
And
Perfect.
I know that we got Love and that all worked out and all of that, but he's a guy that it felt like he could have been a significant piece of a franchise for a significant period of time.
It's funny. I actually had my my other occupation pull up the audio of me when they drafted Wiggins and when LeBron came back, and I had the audio. This was my big argument. My big argument at the time was just sit for a year with Wiggins, and then you'll get Love in free agency because Love was going to be free agent the next year. Just deal with it for 1 year and then bring in Love the next year. Now, I don't know if that would have played out, and I don't know if LeBron would have signed off on that. But my theory at the time was now you have LeBron, Kyrie, Wiggins going forward. As Wiggins and Kyrie get older, they play together. LeBron takes a back seat, and you're contenders for a decade. That was the blueprint.
I agree with you.
Now, I don't know I'm sure LeBron said, I'm not waiting a year. You're not wasting a year. Go get me a guy.
And he also, though, I think that he's developed as a defensive player from earlier in his career. He's matured in that role. But, you think about who those Cavs teams had to battle. It would have been very useful to have an Andrew Wiggins running around either to allow LeBron to maybe not always have to be on Durant or to, go ahead and take out a Clay in those games. Yeah, it was interesting. And it's funny. And now that he's a Warrior, it's even funny. You could have made the case. Steph is the MVP, but he was probably the second MVP in the MVP balloting for them in this series.
There's a play what they go on a 21-0 run in the first half?
That's right, 21-0.
21-0. There was a play in the 21-0 run where Steph has the ball just short of the midcourt line, and Grant Williams is face guarding him. And Grant Williams is face guarding him 40 feet from the hoop. Okay,
he was getting face guarded every series.
He kicks it to Draymond at the point. Wiggins sets a back screen on Williams. Curry doesn't flash to the rim, though. Instead, he V-cuts and backs up like he's going to get the ball. In the meantime, they do a switch. So now Williams is on Wiggins. Wiggins jets to the hoop. Draymond finds him for a layup. It's all possible because you're face guarding Steph and Clay from 40 feet.
Yep.
And there's nobody anywhere.
Yep.
The spacing, people, it's not just the shooting. It's the fact that you have to guard them 40 feet from the hoop.
Everywhere.
It allows for everything
Yeah.
to move. So he's the perfect complement to it. The other thing that I think that it did is, from a Warriors standpoint, this kind of hit home with me. I was thinking 4 titles in 8 years. So I thought in my head, the most impressive thing from an NBA in my lifetime, I wasn't alive, obviously, for the Celtics, all their championships in the 60s
Sure.
and all that stuff, but was the Lakers winning 5 and 10.
Yep.
Lakers won 5 titles in 10 years in the 80s. They did so against Dr. J's Sixers, Bird's Celtics, and won against the Pistons of Isaiah Thomas, and then played for another one in 91 against the Bulls with Michael. So they were in the mix for 11, 12 years straight and won 5 of them. This is there.
Oh, yeah.
They're right there. And guess what? It ain't ending anytime soon. They can easily keep this up, and Steph and Clay can transition to, as they age, just spot up shooters playing around these other guys. By the way, they didn't even have Wiseman.
At all.
None.
0. The amazing thing to me about it is those Lakers teams that you're talking about, right? This Cavs team, they did that in the era where they never had LeBron James. They never had the best player in the league, like the consensus best player in the league.
You mean these
Warriors?
These Warriors, correct. No, they did not.
So the Lakers, you could have made a case
Yes.
early that Kareem was still the best player in the league, and you could have made a case that Magic was
For
the best
sure.
player in the league.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, Steph would be in those discussions,
Right.
but he was never, first of all, big enough or to be like those guys, and they've done it anyway. And they did it with Durant and without Durant. Two
Yes.
with, 2 without.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, it validates.
And Steve Kerr is an awesome coach. And I thought that it was funny. I was talking with the voice of the Browns, Jim Donovan, yesterday out at First Energy Stadium, and he asked me once they had lost Game 5 if I watched some of the post-game stuff, and I said I did not. These games are just way too late, and it was on Monday, and no. And he said they showed Kerr went into the locker room, and he was like, great job, everybody, today. But he goes, enough said, we're winning this in Boston. Like, we're winning this in the next game. Get your minds right. And everybody was like losing. They were all getting excited. But he's like, that's what we're going to do. We're not coming back. There's no game 7. We're going in winning this. He goes, I want to win it in Boston in front of those fans. I want to break their hearts, basically.
It's
Yeah.
only,
And that's what
only
they went out
the
and did.
second time a team has won a championship in Boston
That's
against the Celtics.
Yeah. Was the other one the 87 or 85 Lakers?
85 Lakers.
Yeah. That's it. So
Pretty impressive
I
to
think
go
it's
in there and do
impressive.
that.
The other thing that's impressive, and you might know the numbers maybe you talked about this morning. What were the Spurs totals with Popovich and Duncan? But there was a huge gap, right? Wasn't it like
it's even So they won the 2. Didn't they? Don't they have 4? Do they have
that's
5?
what it's 4 or 5, and it's
Yeah, because they have
2
David
eras almost.
Robinson and Duncan.
Yep.
Then they have Duncan, Parker, Ginobili,
Yep.
and then they have Duncan as and then Ginobili and
Kawhi.
when they beat LeBron. I think they may have 5. I feel like they may have 5. I think they won 2 with Duncan and Robinson, 2 with Duncan, Ginobili, and Parker as the fulcrum, and then 1 with Kawhi as the main, with Duncan as kind of an ancillary with Parker
Yeah,
and Ginobili.
99, 03, 05, 06, and 14.
Yeah. That's an incredible distance.
99. Hold on. What would you
It's
say?
a 15-year difference
For the last one.
to the first.
For,
to the
2014 was the last one.
Okay, but you run off the
1999.
4 that you ran in a row.
99, 03,
05,
07,
06.
or 06. Yeah.
That should
That's
be 07, shouldn't it?
That's 5 and
That's 4 in 8
Hold on.
years, isn't it? 99 to 07?
yeah, that would be.
I feel like they
So that's
they
the
won.
third time that's happened?
Hold on. That is not.
Jordan won
I was
going to
say it wasn't 06. It was 07 against the Cavs.
07, yeah.
99, 03, 05, 07, 14.
Yeah, because they won it every other year.
Yep.
03, 05, 07. They were because the Lakers were in there for 04.
But they still
and
also
02.
won 4 of 8.
They won 4 and 8 too. Yeah.
And then another 7 years later.
Then won another one.
So
yeah.
it'd be like if the Warriors then win again in like 2029 and Steph Curry is still
in the mix.
a principal
Because
player.
remember, Duncan kind of remember he had that one game against Miami in that series where he was like old Duncan.
Yeah, and didn't one year he was like throwing in a couple threes and
Yeah.
doing all kinds of ludicrous
Right.
stuff? Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was.
They should have They should have won 2. They should have beaten the Heat twice.
That's the Ray Allen shot.
And it's the Manu miss at the free throw.
Manu misses, and then Ray Allen gets his tiptoes
never
in.
Never does.
All those Miami fans left. They had the ropes out to celebrate,
and they wouldn't let him come back in.
Right.
And they took out. I want to say they took out. Was it Boris Diaw on that last play? They took out one of their rebounders. Allen's shot wasn't the original shot.
It
was after
kickoff.
It was after an offensive rebound.
Yeah.
After
that's true.
LeBron missed. I don't want to say maybe Bosh rebounded
Bosh kicked it to
and threw it to the corner to Allen, who
nailed it. Yeah,
and that sent it to OT, if I'm not mistaken. It wasn't like a walk-off winner.
I don't think so. I think that was overtime too. I think but it was a collapse in that last minute.
Whatever it was, if Ginobili had hit the free throws, I think they win.
Yeah, several things had to happen.
Yeah.
The other thing that I had, it's funny. My wife was watching it, Cleveland girl, and she has this theory that Steph Curry stinks because he literally stinks because he plays with his mouthpiece.
Oh, okay.
Like the odor. And I feel like there's no chance that that's the case, but I just think it's funny that she does that. And she can't stand him. And so he hit that 3 from which appeared to be about 48 feet from the hoop in the third quarter, the one where he did the night thing. Or maybe that was in the fourth. And I go, do you still? She goes, I don't even prompt her. She goes, I hate him.
Smart
and I just
woman.
Went
She's a very smart woman.
I thought that's why sports is great. That hate transitions on.
Oh man.
I did say, it reminded me of when I was a kid. I hated Larry Bird because I liked the Lakers, and so I hated Bird.
Sure.
But then I remember him in the '90s and Chuck Person going at him.
Oh god.
And I was like, "You go to hell, Chuck Person. Come on, Larry, let's go." And I feel like Larry balled out in that series, and I think they beat Indiana in that series, if my memory serves, in 91-ish or something like that. But I'd come full circle. It was okay for me to hate him in the 80s, but I'm not letting you hate him.
Yeah.
You don't get to hate Larry Bird.
No.
Chuck Person. You're not having it.
The Rifleman.
Yeah. A couple of things. Do I get time to do this real quick?
Yeah, we can come to him later.
All right. Well,
I teased that we would do Coach at 120.
We have Coach at 120. That's right. I'm sorry.
The Chuck
Can't
Person
keep him
one
waiting.
was the best, though, that's the one where Larry was telling him what he was going to do and then doing it. I'm going to take 2 dribbles to my right and then bust it in your face, and then he would do it. And he's like, I'm
Chuck
going to take a dribble
had
to your
some games, though. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. That was Chuck had some games in that one. All right, coming up next, Coach Stefanski. Minicamp is over. You will hear from him coming up next. We're off and running. Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland.
Welcome back into Cleveland Browns Daily. Very happy now on this Friday to put a kind of a bow on the offseason program by being joined by our head coach, Kevin Stefanski. And, Coach, 3 years now with the Browns, 3 off seasons. The first one that was normal, as it were. As you reflect back, how good was it to have this experience finally with this team?
Yeah, I thought it was great. I really did. You know, as coaches, we want to coach. We want to be out there on the field with the guys. We want to be around them. We want to teach them the systems. And I thought the guys did an awesome job. They really did. And we structured it in a way where we wanted to get our work done, but we wanted to do it in a safe way. And we wanted to compete, but we wanted to compete in a safe way. And I think the coaches and the players did just a really, really nice job of every single day working and having fun. And I think you can do both.
Before we get into the work, and we'll talk about the work that you saw and you know, where you're feeling with this team right now, but let's just talk about the fact that, you know, I was talking to Anthony Walker Jr., and he says this is the first time in 3 years, and obviously he was with the Colts for one of those, but the whole team's been in the locker room. How different has that been, and how is the chemistry? And everybody keeps talking about how this team is closer, and you're getting to see it, I'm sure, but just getting to be together.
Yeah, it's so simple sounding, and I think all of us kind of went through COVID-related things in all of our lives, and the
Sure.
masks and sitting, you know, spacing out from people, and just to walk into that locker room and seeing everybody, you know, locker to locker and elbow to elbow, and seeing people actually share a meal together in the meal room. All these little things that end up being a big thing, and I just think we, as in this building, certainly all of the other buildings, and where we are, hopefully as a world. Just being around each other and being able to share those things with each other, which just weren't possible the last couple of years.
All right, so let's get now onto the field, because off the field it does feel like there's a special camaraderie building amongst this team and a unity, and a lot of the players talked about it, and you hit on it just there. But on the field, this was a passing camp. That's what you kind of called this OTAs and the mini camp, and we got Joel back, and so you really saw everybody out there for the first time. But the focus was really on those 7-on-7 periods. What did you see in those periods?
Yeah, so to that point, Nathan, it was a passing camp because that's how the rules are structured.
Yeah.
You can't run the ball. You can't have one-on-one drills, which are fun, but when you don't have pads on, they're prohibited. So we just want to be smart about what we do. So 7-on-7, that is the best drill that you can get done in the structure. I think it also fit in what we're trying to accomplish as a team. We wanted to get better in the pass game on offense. We want to be better at defending the pass on defense. So we were able, in the course of every single one of these OTAs and minicamp, to have 2 7-on-7 periods each day. And we focused on 3rd and 4th down and the red zone. And I think for me and for us, you achieve what you emphasize. So we felt like, all right, we got to get better in the pass game, offense, defense. We have to get better in these certain situations. So let's just get in the red zone day one. Let's have a 4th down period day one, and stayed with that throughout so that the guys understand, and we were explicit about this, here are the areas that we want to get better, and here's how we're going to do it.
Well, you talk about situational football. Those are the plays. There's a reason 3rd down is the money down in the NFL. There's a reason why you have, quote-unquote, a 4-point play in the red zone, the difference between a touchdown and kicking a field goal. Those are the differences between winning and losing, and obviously that's probably why he chose to emphasize it.
Exactly right. And not to say that 1st and 10 from the -25 isn't important. It is, because those normal downs, they come up a lot. They come up the most in football. But the high leverage points on that 4th and 3, on that 3rd and goal from the 6, those are just huge plays. So the more we can work concepts as an offense and get comfortable, the more we as a defense can roll our coverages and mix coverages and move people around. I think it just makes us a more complete team. Now, having said all that, you know, we have a mile to go, and we'll take a break here and get back for training camp, and we'll get back to work. But we wanted early in this program to make it known where we feel like we need to get better.
All right. You are out there, you're on the walkie-talkie, you're talking to your quarterbacks, talking to Sean, getting the plays in these 7-on-7s, but you're the head coach of this football team. Mm-hmm. Were you pleased? It felt like a very even battle, and not because one side was better, but because you had 2 very good sides going head-to-head day after day.
Yeah, and that's competition. That's what I love, and you're right, I am calling the play into the offense, but when we make a great play on defense, that fires me up just the same. And there were some incredible defensive moments for us in this offseason program. I thought, you know, when you're having a passing camp and you're in a 7-on-7 drill, the advantage is to the offense. There's no pass
Hugely.
rush. Now, obviously, we want to get the ball out. You can't hold the ball forever as a quarterback, but it's an advantage offense drill. And the defense has that mentality of they understand that, and they still want to stop the offense. And I thought, particularly that back end, a bunch of those young guys had a really, really strong showing. They were around the ball. They made plays on the ball. They were assignment sound. And I think it shapes up for when we get back to really double down on some of the things we're doing.
And let's just talk about that D in the back end for a second. Denzel's back. Greedy's back. Greg is back. A.J. Green is back. Herb Miller is back. And, of course, you insert M.J. Emerson. Then you go in your safety room. Your top 3 safeties from a year ago are all back. John, Grant, Ronnie, Rich LeCount back as well. The continuity there. And then in your linebacker room, you look at it and you say, AWOC is back. Jacob Phillips is back. J.O.K. is back. Cox back. The continuity there, it just felt like they were a well-oiled machine. To your point, it's 7-on-7. It's not often that you see the ball not even be able to come out at times, and part of it's because of what they did back there. I bet you're happy that this is a back 7. You don't have to worry about come games, and I think it's going to prepare you pretty well for real games.
Yeah, without a doubt. And to that point, number one, with the pass rush that we hope to have, the ball comes out quickly versus us. People don't hold the ball very often, so it's important for us to be sticky in coverage and be covering our guys, knowing that ball's coming out. And I think the guys understand that, and Joe and the defensive staff are working very hard to as we design our defense to be an attacking defense, also taking away what teams are doing. But to your first point about continuity, last year, going into last year, we have the same. We were very blessed and fortunate to have the same coaches, but we had so many new players.
Yep.
What I'm excited about going into this year is you have those same coaches into year 3, and you have most of those same players going into that year 3 as well. And I think that's where you can really take off.
All right, I'll single a guy out because I know it's not typically your style, but it just felt like Grant Delpit. And I realize it's his 3rd year, but it's really like being a rookie last year going into your 2nd year. It feels like he has taken a huge leap in his ability to see the field, break on the ball. We saw him get his hands on the ball, a couple picks as well in this camp. What have you seen from Grant and kind of just the way that that group is just working together?
Yeah, really pleased with Grant's development, and as we all know, he kind of had that lost year. So I count him as a rookie last year. So. Yep. It's almost like he's a sophomore this year. So excited about the gains that he's made, both physically, mentally, just his ability to play in our defense. He can play the half field, he can play the post, he can play down, brings a lot of versatility to what we're doing. But he had a really, really strong camp, and I think it starts with he came in incredible shape. He's working really, really hard in the weight room, and that's such a big piece of this, and not to lose sight of that is these guys – everything we do in the meeting room is important. Everything we do on the field is important, but part of it is also work down in the weight room, and the work that these guys do down there is vitally important to our success.
All right, let's flip it over to the offensive side, and obviously a lot to be excited about there, and it starts with your quarterback, Deshaun Watson. It's one thing to go out and to trade for him. It's one thing to watch his past tape. It's another thing now to have gone through, the 10 OTAs, the 3 days of mini camp with him. What have you learned about your quarterback, and how is that going to allow you to operate this offense in 2022?
Yeah, I think that all is a process. So when we first meet with Deshaun, it was, all right, let's find out what he's comfortable with. Let's watch the tape. Let's talk ball. And then as you get through phase 1 and phase 2, you're really in meetings, and then you're on air on the practice field. And, again, it's just trying this. Hey, you like this? We can also do this. It's always constantly evolving and moving. And then as you get into these practices, now you're getting live reps. And with those 7-on-7s that we mentioned earlier, we rep the same play over and over and over. You do it from the right hash, you do it from the left hash, you do it out of 12 personnel, you do it out of 11 personnel, just so that it becomes rote memory for all of the guys, but particularly the quarterback. So it's been important for us in this process to constantly tinker, evolve, and then eventually get to and hang our hat on what we feel like we will be moving forward. But that is a process, and it's been some incredible meetings down there with that room. It's been some really good tape to watch with those guys. So I think we had a lot of banked reps from this offseason that will carry with us into training camp.
When you have a guy who is an easy thrower, and it just looks, it's an easy throw, and it's quick. His release, time to throw to the ball being out is quick. How does that change, if anything, for you as a play caller and what you can do conceptually?
Yeah, there are certain things that Deshaun does in his game, you mentioned with that quick release, it does allow you to have some, whether you call them RPO or quicker hitting things or quicker hitting play actions. A lot of times in the empty game, the ball can come out quick, and you can also hold it and have some deeper shot type mentalities. But it is, I've been around a lot of guys that have that ability, and it's really beneficial where you can put the ball in the belly of a running back and then spit it out to the other side as well.
All right, just because it was a fun play and people were talking, and you did it on a day when the media was there, so obviously you didn't mind people seeing it. But if I'm not mistaken, it looked like a kind of an inside fake to Chubb, and then you could have run. I think he handed it to Chubb on the play, but you could have run like almost a triple option with Deshaun and Kareem as his wing there. Is that kind of some of the fun stuff you're able to do with a quarterback who can move like that?
Yeah, I mean, there's really no shortage of those type of things.
Yeah.
And I think once we get to playing games, we'll hone in on what we want to be and what we want to look like and those type of things. But there's no shortage of plays in the NFL, in football. And that's the difficult part when you're on the defensive side, is trying to you can't stop everything as a defensive coach. You're going to play cover 3, you're going to avoid the flats, and then you're going to say, okay, we'll rally and make the tackle. So for us offensively, the flip side of that coin is we want to be multiple enough to make ourselves difficult to defend. So yes, there are some option things you can do. You can do all of it. There's no shortage. So we got to hone in on the things that we want to be good at.
So Chief gets the big deal. He's the man. I know you're excited about it. I thought he did a nice job at the stadium yesterday, especially in that red zone, couple of touchdown passes. That's a hookup that looks like it could be a big one. How do you see his role expanding now that he is kind of the guy and in an offense where it does feel like the ball's going back to the middle of the field quite a bit, and that's where he lives?
Yeah, I think we're really fortunate to have Dave and Harrison, are guys that they both have different skill sets. I mean, everybody knows Dave is a big body that can run in those seams and can go elevate and pluck the ball. But I think what's so exciting about Dave is, as a young player, we've seen his game develop. With my time with him, I'm not saying this is credit to me in any way. It's a credit to Dave and the coaches, but he's developed into one of the best blocking tight ends in the game, and that just doesn't happen. So to see his game take a step in that area, I have no doubt that it can take steps in other areas, and it's a matter of working and to get it done. But I do think Dave, as a young player, has room to grow, and he knows that, and I've told him that, and he feels the same way. But with him and Harrison, we're excited about those guys and how we expand our offense and change a little bit of what we're doing.
I think Amari's been exactly what you expect him to be. Tremendous route runner, catches everything, consummate professional. But this receiver room, there's a lot of new faces or current faces that you need to elevate. DPJ, Schwartz, you draft David Bell. Felton's even getting some work in there with the slot. I thought Michael Wood has been kind of impressive in the way that he long strides and gets on his DBs. What have you seen from these young guys in the past game, and anybody who's kind of really started to take the strides that have you very encouraged?
Yeah, they all did a nice job, and I think really the opinion that matters the most is the quarterback room, and they like throwing to these guys. That's really important. So I think each one of these guys, the quarterbacks trust them. I think they have traits. You think around the league, and there's some great pass receivers. And for us, we're really, really excited about the room in total. You mentioned Amari as a guy that's been so productive, and he is, the elder statesman in a really young room, but he is just a pro's pro. So to watch him operate, and he certainly has the trust of the quarterback. But you look at all those young guys, I really feel strongly that we have some important traits in that room, and I do think they're all getting better.
Did you tell your dad to stay away from Jacoby Brissett after the shooting display that he put on at the Cavs facility?
Yeah, Jacoby, so my dad was in town last week, brought him down to the Hall of Fame with us so we could watch practice and kind of hang out with the guys. And he did talk to Jacoby. Jacoby's angling for that 10-day contract.
I bet he is. It's a pretty good display.
He tried to get the Cavs. He tried to get Kobe Altman and JB to sign him last week when we were down there at the Cavs, and now he's working on the Pistons. So he's trying, and I will give him credit. He does have a pretty sweet stroke.
Yeah, it looked very pure, very pure. All right, real quickly, special teams. A lot of overhaul there. This is your first chance to get a look at those guys. I know we can't really do the returns and with Jakeem and the coverage, but you can get the fundamentals down. But one thing we can watch is Cade York kick the football. And I think the one from 50 yesterday was good from 70 with everybody screaming and hooting and hollering at him. What do you kind of make of your young kicker and just kind of the punting competition and overall teams in general?
Yeah, I think Cade has done a really, really nice job this spring. And every opportunity he's gotten to kick, whether it's here in a team setting or going down to the stadium as the battery of Charlie and the holders, I think he's done a nice job. He's going to work really hard. I think he's a talented young kid. And we're excited about the future with him. He's going to miss a kick. That's kind of the nature of that position. But we're excited about where he is physically and mentally.
All right. Any plans for the summer?
I do. I have lots of plans. I'm not going to share them with you, but
Okay.
no, I'm just kidding. We'll be with the family. We'll be here for a couple weeks. Kids are in about 1,000 camps, so I'm driving everybody, driving Miss Daisy right now, and then we'll get away from here. We'll get down the shore, which is kind of our happy place down in the Jersey Shore for a couple weeks, and then recharge that battery and get ready to go.
I can see out there fist pumping and clubbing
Not
on
that
the shore.
Jersey Shore.
Okay,
No.
all right.
Beautiful beaches.
All right. Happy Father's Day.
Yeah, appreciate it.
What's a perfect Father's Day look like for you?
You as well. Perfect Father's Day. A nap with some golf on is probably where it ends. But we'll hang out. It's with my kids. Anything you get to do with them is a bonus. So whether it's a baseball game or going out to breakfast or going to church, whatever it is, we'll make sure we're having some fun.
All right, Coach. Thanks so much for the time, and enjoy your summer. And I know that you will enjoy that, but I'm sure you can't wait to get back here and get started on this season.
Yeah, we're excited about it. We'll take this break, and I think we've all earned it. And then we'll get ready to go come July.
All right. Thanks so much for the time, Coach. And we'll be back with more on Cleveland Browns Daily right after this.
Are your business operations suffering from internal communication breakdowns? Beau here for my friends at EOX Vantage. They're data scientists, also business operations experts. Your EOX Vantage team helps you build a streamlined communication system that brings together your email, chat, intranet, announcements, CRM into one clear flow. Your people, including those who work remotely, gain a centralized hub that encourages collaboration. So there's no more discontinued communication methods that leave team members out of the loop or not on the same page. It's real, everyday business problems that are solved with my friends at EOX Vantage. See how other business owners are getting everyone on the same page by visiting EOXVantage.com. We had a bunch of announcements at the end of the show yesterday, including the training camp schedule, which is back at the CCMC. That is in full. 11 free open practices. They begin on Saturday, July 30th. All sessions available to fans beginning on that 30th at 2 o'clock. Gates open an hour beforehand. Tickets available to the public starting on Thursday, June 23rd at 10 a.m. Season ticket members will receive a special 48-hour window to reserve their tickets for training camp practices. That starts on the 21st of June. Each account can register up to 4 tickets for an individual session. Go to clevelandbrowns.com for more information. This is going to be special. It's going to be here before we know it, buddy.
It is, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun for the Browns fans. We have more space this year. The Browns bought up all those houses that were lining basically the training camp practice field, so they're going to be able to move things out, get more seating, get more room for activations, and I think it's going to be a pretty cool experience. So it's going to be unlike any training camp we've ever seen at the Cross Country Mortgage Campus because there's going to be more room, more of it. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun, and I look forward to seeing everybody out here because it's your first chance to see this team and see what all the excitement's about, see what all the fuss is about, and I think that's a pretty cool thing as well.
If you haven't been here since last year, you're not going to believe how much space there is compared to what –
huge.
You know, that wall on the west side along the back side of that practice facility, most of the fans were on the east side. Now it'll be on that west side. That west side wall is gone. So you're going to have – a lot of room.
All the room.
For the training camp. And the pups will be back, right? This could be it, boys. Could be puppy acquisition time for me at that adoption.
No way.
We've reached that point. No. The blonde. She's raised 3 young gentlemen. Why not raise a puppy?
I think she might say back, I've raised 3 young gentlemen. Why not you raise a puppy?
She knows how. Look, I'll be coaching. I'll be doing these shows. I can't do it. I won't be there.
Oh, baby.
Going to be fun. I look forward to that.
What is the name of this dog?
Roger. Mr. Roger Sterling.
Okay.
From Mad Men.
Of course. Yeah. That's known already. That's
known.
The kids are okay with it? I feel like they're not going to be
They
okay
love
with
it.
That. They do love it.
Love it. Couldn't be more excited for Bootsy. Can't wait to yell at Roger. I can't wait for my wife to yell at Roger. I think that's going to be incredible. Hearing her scream Roger over and over again is amazing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Boy or a girl, it's going to be a Roger.
Doesn't matter. What difference does it make?
None.
Somebody said to me, well, you got to get a female dog because female dogs are better than male dogs in terms of behavior. And I said, okay, fine, get a female dog. The way you can't name it Roger, why? What does it care?
What is it? Right. It has no idea.
What does it care what it's called?
I used to get a lot of pushback.
You can't do that.
I wanted to name the female dog Ralph. I just thought it'd be funny.
Of course it's funny.
Yeah, Ralph's a great name.
Dog doesn't care.
Yeah.
My grandpa was Ralph.
Really? It's a great name.
It's a great name.
Yeah.
I had a grandpa Ralph, Uncle Archie, Archbishop. What a strong name. Pretty good.
It's not far away from Arch Manning right there.
Not.
Archbishop.
No, not at all. All right, some other promotions from the team here. We had officially announcing the hiring of Catherine. I'm not sure on Catherine, this pronunciation. Do you guys have it here in the building? Last name? Raish?
That's what I would have gone with.
Yeah, I went Raish. Assistant General Manager and VP of Football Operations. Catherine joins us from Philly, where she oversaw all areas of football ops and player
Burgundy,
personnel.
you missed something there.
No, I didn't. Including pro and college scouting, contract management, player staff development, and football research. Here she will help manage the day-to-day operations of the team and contribute to all strategic roster decisions across player personnel and football ops. Football ops verticals.
Yeah.
I don't like talk of verticals.
Fine. You can leave that out.
Yeah, I should have. My fault.
Yeah.
She's the NFL's highest-ranking female woman football executive. Also, Glenn Cook. We know Glenn. Glenn I know very, very well.
Yeah.
New title for him, Assistant General Manager and Vice President of Player Personnel. This is a pretty cool story of both Andrew Berry and Glenn, because Glenn was brought in here with John Dorsey, with that group
with
from the Packers, brought in here. And when those guys, when that administration moved on and Andrew Berry came in, Andrew talked with a lot of the guys and was really open with all of them about the ones that he wanted to stay. Glenn liked it. He liked Glenn. They had worked together previously, and now all of a sudden Glenn's one of the fastest risers in the business. That's awesome.
It is awesome, and Glenn is now in the role that Kwesi was in, and Kwesi went on to become general manager of the Vikings, and the Browns are creating, I think, a general manager pipeline. Glenn got a couple interviews this year. I think it is likely Glenn will end up being a general manager in the NFL sooner rather than later, and I think Catherine Raish has an opportunity to be the first female general manager in the NFL, and it wouldn't surprise me. And the Browns have not only produced this pipeline, but they've produced this pipeline of candidates that, were they to become GMs, they would receive 2 third-round picks if either Glenn or Catherine becomes a GM, as they did with Kwesi. And they got one of them this year. Guess what? Turned out to be David Bell.
Yeah. They
still have another one from Kwesi going to the Minnesota Vikings. So the Browns are not only positioned well because they have very, very talented people. And listen, it's got to be a talented person that gets to become a GM.
Yeah.
But they're also in line for this pipeline that is increasing the diversity amongst the leadership in the National Football League, and they can receive a draft pick benefit for doing this.
It's a win-win.
Yeah.
ESPN's Jake Trotter regarding Denzel Ward, who left practice yesterday with a lower leg injury. Quote, he is told Denzel Ward should be good to go for the start of training camp after leaving minicamp practice yesterday with a left ankle foot injury.
Yeah, I've talked to
We're good.
people that would absolutely know, and he will be good to go for training camp.
Very good news there. You'll hear from Jadeveon Clowney coming up next. You'll listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. If a car, truck, or motorcycle accident caused you injury, call the injury lawyers at 1-800-ELK-OHIO for a free case review. Elk & Elk is a proud partner of your Cleveland Browns. Now here's edge rusher Jadeveon Clowney at the podium from yesterday. Let's have a listen.
Knock on wood,
You're down.
Probably. Well, you off the chain, you put me on the spot. Make way more plays than I did last year, more sacks, more TFLs, and just try to get it going. What else you got for me?
Are you coming to my birthday party?
That's the thing, man. I want to. I got a camp Saturday, man, but I definitely want to get down there and fuck with my boy Coop, man. You just told me that I got here, Coop, yesterday. You put me on the spot.
This is about 4 minutes.
JD, what's your vibe with your second year with this team?
That's pretty laid back to me. Yeah, it's pretty laid back, man. I think we get along well. It's a good group, very young team. Hell, I'm one of the oldest ones on here. It's the weirdest thing now, but it's a young team, and we have a lot of fun together. I have a lot of fun out here with these guys, and that was my biggest part of coming back, too. I had a lot of fun with them last year.
Yeah.
And
can you tell if it's a better team yet?
I think so. Of course. Like I said, we was good on defense. Like we've picked in some new pieces on the offense and defense, and I just feel like we're a better team this year than we was last year.
And Anthony Walker said after you signed, like you texted him, just kind of texted him super.
Yeah. I feel like I told him we was a couple pieces away last year, a couple plays away. If I come back, I'm chasing it. So the same thing I told Miles, man, we got to chase that Super Bowl. I ain't coming here just to win 8-9 games. I want to chase the Super Bowl, and I think we got a shot. Just keep going, put it together this year and see where it goes.
When you're making your decision year by year, does it never matter about the offensive personnel or what that offense looks like before you make that decision?
It did this year. I did this year because I told him I was all about where my boy Deshaun was going. When I talked to him, I said I played with him, and he kept us off the field a lot. And I was like, wherever you go, I know you're going to keep us off the field. You put up a lot of points, put us in rushing situations instead of having to stop the run all the time. And I just wanted to go play with him and see what I can do with him again.
What can you and Miles do to help the young pieces you guys have in the interior maximize it?
I mean, just show them how we've been doing it, just how we work, how we do our thing out there during the week. It all happened during the week. We put a lot of work in during the week. We work hard during practice. We run around hard. We don't take plays off. And I think when they see that how we work, and they see like the older guys doing, they're gonna just pick up off of it, which they do pretty well now.
So if Deshaun would have ended up in Atlanta, you would have tried to get there?
I probably would have. I probably would have followed him there. Who knows? But he ended up here, so we here now. That's over with. Let's go.
A few more for Jadeveon.
So
Chasing now. We chasing this.
I mean, if there's a possibility he won't have the whole 17 games.
That's all right.
How do you feel about that?
Like I said, we got a good defense. We can hold it together. I think we can hold it. We did good last year, and we was banged up on offense all over the place, and I think the defense played well for what we had going on. And we got the same defense back, a couple pieces, additional pieces, so I think we're going to be all right.
How big an upgrade is that at quarterback if he's on the field?
I ain't going to get into that because my boy Baker, that's my guy, and I like Baker, good person, great person, so I'm just glad to be here back here, doing my thing, so.
Hey, you knew Deshaun better than anyone here probably.
Yeah.
How do you think he's handled all this?
That's a lot of pressure. I told him that's a lot of pressure for what he's dealing with. But for him to just handle the situation the way he's doing, I think he's doing a good job, man. He don't
30.
every day. He don't let it bother him, mess up his job or work. He's dealing with it well. So I hope he just keep doing it, taking care of the way he's doing it. Hope the best for my quarterback.
Are you keeping in touch with him though about that? Checking in
No,
on him
that's
or
his
anything?
personal business. I don't get into that.
Okay.
Only football.
I just thought you might be.
And I think it's
texting him
enough
saying-
out here in the world going on. I don't even have to ask him what's going on. They put it all out there. So I try not to ask him about it. I'm sure he don't want to talk about it.
Well, no, I was just
crazy.
checking to see if he's okay. and
Yeah, I
all
know.
that.
Yeah, I try to stay out of it. But
Yeah, okay.
keep it professional. That's my guy, though.
You're up.
Jadeveon Clowney for NFLPA president.
Oh my goodness! Yeah,
I mean,
he
that
can
is
handle
just-
the. No, I know what you're trying to do there. Not
having it.
Not playing.
Not going to play
playing
that game. Don't believe I'm going to take that bait either.
Nope.
The Bath Authority can give you the bathroom of your dreams, and you can transform your current bathroom into a custom bath for a spa-like experience. Let the Bath Authority make it a reality for you at a fraction of the cost of the competitors. The Bath Authority is Cleveland's premier bath and shower remodeler. They have expert factory-trained installers. You give them a call now, $500 off your next custom bath or shower remodel. That number is 216-220-8399 or go to thebathauthority.com. It's where affordability meets quality. The largest selection of bath projects are all made in the United States. If you're looking for a tub-to-shower conversion, they can help you there. Simply put, superior products with expert installers. It's thebathauthority.com. $500 off your next custom bath or shower remodel at the number 216-220-8399 or go to thebathauthority.com. We've got Higher or Lower. We've got Ask CBD. Final hour of the week coming up next. Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland. I love this tweet from Greg Newsom 7 minutes ago. Season can't come soon enough. He's ready.
Greg Newsom.
2-0 is ready.
Brandon Lynch together in that photo.
B. Lynch.
Love it.
Legend.
B. Lynch.
A lot of bad advice out there about gambling, from secret methods
Sad.
to picking lottery numbers to betting big when you're on a roll. The miss can lose you money, get you in a lot of trouble. So before you wager, find out what's real and what isn't at keepitfunohio.com. Before we get to higher or lower, where are we at the U.S. Open? Callum Tarran is your leader at 4 under.
4 under through 6.
And 1 under on the day. The low round of the day is Scotty Scheffler, among others. Sam Burns, Scotty Scheffler. Scotty Scheffler is 3 under on his round and 3 under for the tournament. What will the number be at the end of today? It's currently at 4. No one's doing much scoring.
What's going to win the tournament?
No. At the end of today, what's the number?
That'll be the leader?
Yeah.
5.
5.
Yeah. 6.
And you think so?
But I don't think it's going to continue. Like, I think that the tournament is going to end. I think it's going to end in single digits.
Like 6,
Like, I don't
7.
think it's going to like 12.
Oh, no. I assume that place will get harder and harder. I guess as they're having the heat we had the last couple of days, that they'll have it today and tomorrow. And if they get this breeze that we've had, that place is going to be hard as a rock. This stuff's going to roll like crazy.
So
you know the saying, when it's breezy, swing easy.
Yeah.
They literally just showed 13 green, and they have a hose plugged in, and they are watering between groups coming up.
Yeah, see.
I'm not so sure that's not a competitive disadvantage for others, or a competitive advantage for other groups, but they are literally watering holes and watering greens.
That surprises me that they would be doing that.
Well, they've done that before at the U.S. Open because they worry about them burning
burn them out. Yeah, they don't want to burn because they're cut so tight.
Yeah, that you burn them out, so you have to do it. The water's got to evaporate as soon as it hits.
Yeah.
It has to. All right, time for a little higher low. Oh, go ahead.
Real quick.
Do you have a note?
A quick little note. Jalen Hurts, quarterback of the Eagles, one that's relevant because we're about to get into this talking quarterbacks, has filed a trademark application for Hurts So Good.
Come on.
The filing made on June 13th indicates that Jalen Hurts intends to launch a Hurts So Good brand of clothing.
Boy, you better not suck.
Come on,
because if
baby,
you're putting that
make it
stuff
hurt
out there.
so good.
John Mellencamp.
The Cougar.
How about the fact that they made him be the Cougar? Like John Mellencamp, they felt wasn't enough, so they had to make him be John Cougar.
Wait, so that really wasn't part of his?
No.
They just said, no, you need
No, he's pissed off about it, in fact. Like, no, they made him be John Cougar Mellencamp.
Why?
I have no idea, because record labels are idiots. So they had to be John Cougar. So as soon as he could get rid of the Cougar, he did.
But it was always John Cougar Mellencamp. He was never.
No. They made him be his Cougar has nothing to do with him.
I got that, but I'm saying he never was just.
No.
I could understand if they went and you said John Mellencamp. What's a Mellencamp? Like watermelons go and
Throw
hang
a
out in
cougar
RVs?
in?
Let's throw a Cougar. If he just went to John Cougar, I'm saying, like,
Right.
period. Like, I could understand. Like, maybe I could see that.
But then he kept the Mellencamp in?
Right.
You imagine if they were like, listen, before you replace.
What if it was like John Panther? Like, how'd they come up with Cougar?
Before you replace Deke, this last name Zegura, it's not quite enough. We need a little panache to it. So you are now going to be Nathan Jaguar Zegura.
Listen,
That's
I don't know
what
if
we're
you're
gonna do.
aware or not, but my
I am aware
actual
of
middle
Dragomir.
name is Dragomir. So if
you
we're
could
gonna
do that.
let's just go Dragomir.
Dragomir Zegura.
Just Dragomir.
Yeah.
I feel like Dragomir's a one name.
That's one. Yeah, that you don't need anything else.
No,
That's
says
it.
everything you need to know. Or as Chase Winovich calls me, the Dragon.
The Dragon.
There are 3 people, celebrity-wise, that I've met that are the biggest holes on the planet. John Cougar Mellencamp, whatever you would like to call him.
He's at the top?
He is number 2 on the list.
Okay.
But I will say this, one of the top 5 concerts that I have ever seen.
He's great show.
Unbelievable entertainer,
Yes.
but just
How
the
did he offend
biggest,
you? How was he
Well,
slightly
he was-
discourteous?
We had a meet and greet
Sure you
when
did.
I worked on the music side of things. And we had 10 winners and their guests, 20 people. Would not shake anyone's hand.
I don't blame him.
Didn't want to interact with anybody.
Same.
We said we're going to do a group picture.
I would have been so
Refused
nice.
to
I would
look
have
at
been
the
the
camera.
nicest.
Every picture taken, he's looking up, down, sideways, down at his shoes. I'm like, well, this has just been pointless, man.
awesome.
These people paid a lot of money.
Sure,
like
not his
They're
problem.
excited. Like, well, then you should talk to your record company. But they were
Well,
busy.
he was pissed
Yeah.
off because they made him be John Cougar.
Probably.
He held it against
One
him.
of the biggest blanks.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
Also, like,
but entertainer.
because what you don't realize about him is how many of his songs you know.
and
That's what
he
you don't
is-
realize. How many of them are in the
understands entertainment.
Yeah.
Meaning, when he goes and does a concert, you're not hearing the songs that you don't know.
No,
it's
he plays
only
the
the hits from
plays the
should
hits.
be.
Plays 20 hits, and he's got 20.
Yep.
By the way, smokes a heater the whole time.
Yes.
The whole show is smoking a heater.
All right, so you said something that I think you're right about, that I would know so many of his songs. Like off the top of my head, like Hurts, that's what I got for you. Like if you used to give me John Cougar.
Oh, God, come on.
Jack and Diane?
Jack and Diane,
yep.
Pink Houses.
Little Ditty.
Yeah,
Jack
Pink
and
Houses.
Diane.
There's so many you know.
That's what I'm saying. I know
You
them.
know 20.
Yes.
Probably.
You would just start knowing them.
And I'd probably start singing them all.
You probably never had. I never had like a CD or
No,
nothing.
never.
But I went to the concert 20 years ago. I knew 20. I knew them all.
It was a slice of Americana.
You knew them all. Yeah.
I just think they should have gone with like Jaguar, like you did with me, like
Jaguar.
Johnny Jaguar.
Johnny Jag.
Yeah.
I like that.
By the way,
All right, so hold on. He was number 2. Who are they? Round out the top 3 for us, because I was
No,
like,
2 and 3 were John Cougar and Mellencamp. Or 2 and 3. 1 was the only thing we didn't get. We didn't get the number 1 biggest.
I think John Cougar and I think the same person.
I just watched Rory McIlroy
Yep.
off the green. He's in the thick stuff. Full on swing,
Not
like,
moving
and
the
he's
ball.
5 feet off, and the ball went 1 foot in the air and dropped
Back in the muck.
back in the muck.
Ah, roars.
Hate to see it.
Not great
Yeah,
on the
hate
second
to
hole.
see
He's
it.
our hope.
Gibbe, who's your least favorite celebrity of all time?
No, the biggest hole of all time.
Yeah.
I mean, there aren't words. Jewel.
Can we, Jewel?
What? That
Oh,
hurt-
what an
no
incredible
way.
upset.
No way.
She married Ty
All right.
Murray, the rodeo king. Come
Hold on a second.
What are we
Hold on
talking
a
about?
second. Hold on a
Sweet
second.
Jewel?
I've only known
She-
one other person that's ever met Jewel, and it was like after college. Because she was like big when we were in
Very
in
big.
college.
Yeah.
And like that, she was like the sweetest, nicest person ever.
Maybe she had a bad day, but I'll tell you what. You go to the dentist and fix your tooth, because you're
All
just.
right. That's come on.
Yep.
You're attacking her for something she didn't have any.
She
say, oh,
is.
That's awful.
She was one of the rudest,
awful.
most
That's an awful
impolite
thing to say.
people
Okay.
that I have ever dealt with.
All right, let's role play. I'm Gibbe, you're Jewel, and I'm like, "Hi, Jewel. Great to meet you. Great show. Honored to meet you."
No. This was before she even took the stage.
Another meet and greet with fans, with the people.
What was the
Oh no,
scenario?
she canceled it.
What
We had
was-
fans that went and didn't get to meet her.
This lady slept in a car.
Hey,
She's
you know what?
folksy.
Sometimes karma.
She
That's
sings
what I
some
would take from
beautiful
that.
songs.
Really
I was a
did.
big Jewel guy, and I had only heard good things. This is the first negative thing I ever heard about Jewel, and I mean it's very negative. What did she do to you personally?
You didn't do anything to me personally, but when I show up with a group of people
just so
that
I
have won
understand
the
this.
right through the record label
That's
to
where
meet
this
you
is,
and
then.
deal with you.
So I believe she had a problem with her record label too. And
What if
these
she
people took
canceled
it out
for
on
something
these
you don't
these
even know about?
stations.
But then I'm in the middle of having to explain to people that have taken the day off to go meet said person
you hate to hear
and
it.
have these experiences. And then when you
What if she
went
was
to
having a
interact with
crisis?
her, she was the rudest, biggest
Oh no.
that you could have ever dealt with. And I was like, you know what? I don't care for you. And I'm not wishing you ill will,
You're
but I
besmirching
am
her all
certainly
these
not
years
wishing
later.
you good things.
Oh no. All right. Well, on that note, better or worse? Go ahead, Gibbe.
Higher or Lower, presented by the Ohio Lottery. I've devoted some time on a Friday, kids.
and Jewel.
But at least John Mellencamp was a heck of an entertainer. By the way, Jewel's concerts sucked too.
Well, there weren't a whole lot of it, you know.
Jewel's
She
great.
opened. She was more of an opening act.
Should have been.
Yeah.
The Crud Tour. Jewel opening for John Mellencamp.
There you go.
Oh my goodness.
But Mellencamp put on a hell of a show.
Yes, he did.
All right. Chris Sims, top 40 countdown. I originally thought we would break this up into groups and we
Sure.
would do half and half. Nah, we're getting it all in. One big
Let's
QB meat sandwich here today. We are presented by the Ohio Lottery. It is Chris Sims' top 40 quarterbacks. Should they be higher, closer to number 1, or lower, closer to number 40?
Is the person better than the person above him or worse?
Madison, hit it.
Higher or lower?
All right, away we go. Number 1, Josh Allen. Number 2, Patrick Mahomes. Number 3 is where we begin today. Justin Herbert. Los Angeles Chargers. Higher, lower, or just right? Nathan Zegura on the Chargers bandwagon. You go first.
I like how you're doing this, that we're just starting right at the top and we're going to make our way down to less important discussions of should he be 32nd or 33rd? Let's conclude with that. I like that. I like the way that you're doing this. We're just going to go right for the start right at the top. Look, I'm a huge Herbert guy. I'm a huge Mahomes guy, huge Allen guy, huge Burrow guy. The fact is, in a one-game scenario, which is how I'm going to say, who would I want quarterbacking my team with everything else being equal? And at this juncture, I'm still going to take Tom Brady 1 and Aaron Rodgers 2.
So obviously he would be lower.
So he's going to get bumped down. Right. Like, I think Allen has Allen, Mahomes, Herbert, Burrow, all these guys, phenomenal. But we're talking about a one-game situation. Even today, and Brady, I know he's old, doesn't matter. I still think that he's probably the best quarterback from the whole package, and Rodgers is right there with me.
Bishop.
Yeah, I think he's worser, and I think if you want to do this from the standpoint of a game, he's lower than third. If you want to do it for I'm drafting a guy for this year, he's lower than third. I think if you're doing it from I'm drafting a guy for the next
career
5, he's slightly lower than third. I would have him below Burrow.
I don't know.
I would. I know what I'm
course.
saying. I'm saying I prefer Burrow to him.
Yeah, you do know what
so
you're
I know.
saying.
Yeah, I believe I have that. Yeah. So I would have. This is what Chris does though. He has Josh Allen ahead of Mahomes, and it's almost like Allen gets more credit for playing the way that they played in that playoff game than Mahomes does for winning it.
The Bills are getting so much love this offseason.
And I love him. He's come a long way. I don't mean to. This is not a shot at Allen. Like, if I was redrafting the league, I'd probably take Allen second. But I think Mahomes should be 2 on any list, in my view. Like, he should be 1 on every list. I just think he's different than everybody else. Herbert, I would have him lower across the board. But again, he's great. It's just the amount of talent in the AFC is just a ridiculous amount. But if it's for one game, then I would probably go Brady, Mahomes, Rodgers, and then I'd probably go Burrow if it's for one game. If it's for this season, I'd have Herbert lower too. I'd probably have him 4th or 5th.
Next.
Maybe 6th.
Higher or lower?
Number 4 is Joe Burrow. Number 5 is Aaron Rodgers. We go to the other Los Angeles team, the Rams. Matthew Stafford at number 6. Bishop, higher, lower, or just right?
Okay, again, this is what does he do this on? What's his criteria? Is this how they are coming out of the year, or how they are going in? Going into this season. Okay. I think it's the sweet spot for Stafford. I think this is about right. I think he's top 8 quarterback. I think there's a pretty big, we'll get to our guy in a second because they don't know what to do with him because he didn't play last year.
Our guy should be in this top.
He's in this group for sure. But I actually think this whole thing kind of stops at 8. So if you put our guy in it, it would stop at 9. I think that's the hard cap.
Yep.
And then I think the one who's probably should be lowest of these is Russ.
Yep.
I'd probably have Russ 9.
Yep.
And then I think the rest of them are kind of just depends on the moment. I mean, Stafford went to Tampa Bay and won. He did. That happened. Went and won it. So won the Super Bowl. So, I think kind of put a little respect on his name.
Him better than Brady, but I think
I'm not saying he's better, but he might be better than Brady right now.
Yeah.
45-year-old Brady versus 35-year-old Stafford. Stafford might be better right now. And that's not a shot at Brady, for God's sakes. Brady's 45.
Of course. I agree.
Next.
Higher or lower?
Okay, so we can all agree that Tom Brady should be higher than number 8.
Yeah.
He's better.
All right. Number 7 is Russell Wilson. 8 was Brady. 9 was Dak Prescott. It takes us to number 10, Lamar Jackson, the quarterback of the Baltimore Ratbirds. Zegura, higher, lower, or just right?
By the way, did you see him yesterday say that he wants to play his whole career in Baltimore, and they're talking about a deal? Meantime, John Harbaugh is saying, well, we're willing to talk. We're just waiting on him. What's the real truth, Bootsy?
I don't know.
What's going on over there?
Something odd going
on.
on.
Sort it out.
Total sidebar, McElroy just doubled.
He's
number
out,
2.
He's done.
He's down to -1.
Yeah, he's out. He's going to shoot 75.
What's going on in Baltimore is as bizarre as the text I got from my dad last night complaining. Afterwards, they were up, 15 with 3 minutes to go, and I was like, all right, it's over. Congrats, blah, blah. My dad's complaining about Clay's shooting. I'm like, he's played great D, first of all.
Right.
And
he's coming off of back-to-back catastrophic injuries. You don't win Game 5 without him. He hit 2 huge threes in Game 5. Had like 20. What do you have? 21 in Game 5.
And the series is over, and your team is
and it's
won.
over. You just won the title. Like, chill out. By the way, when they were doing the bump backs and they were showing like great players in Warriors history, and they were showing like Hardaway and Mullen and Rick Barry and Baron Davis. It was Baron Davis was the 4th.
Really?
And I thought, really?
No Mitch Richmond?
No, it was
outrageous.
It was Tim Hardaway, Baron Davis, Rick Barry, and Chris Mullen. Like, Mitch Richmond should have been the 4th. Honestly, Steph should have been in that, clearly. And Clay probably should have been in that, clearly. But I thought that was a strange choice for them.
Zegura?
Yeah.
Higher,
so,
lower?
Again, I'm putting Deshaun Watson into the top 9, okay? So, to me, this thing starts at 10. And I have, honestly, no problem with Lamar Jackson being number 10. He's a former MVP. He is one of the most dynamic athletes in the National Football League. He has led the highest scoring offense in the NFL. He's led the highest rushing offense in NFL history. I do think he's that good. The question is, can he beat consistently the 9 guys above him? I don't know, but I do feel like he can beat the people behind him consistently, and he's almost kind of – Kyler has the potential to be there, but he's almost kind of like a one-man tier to me, whereas he'd be the next guy, but I don't know that he ever will get into that top 9 consistently.
I'd have him ahead of Dak.
Right, I do too. I'm putting Watson
You're putting
in the top
Watson
9.
in the top 9 and then move Dak out. So yeah, I think he's in the sweet spot for where he is. I just think Dak should be behind him.
Yes.
I think he's one of the. I think that's probably why this is so hard for Baltimore and for him, because he's one of the most on a week-to-week basis. He's almost impossible to game plan for. But if you're in the situation where you have to throw, can they throw you to victory when everybody knows you're throwing? And the answer to that has so far been proven to be no, not at the highest level, but damn close.
Yep.
So, yeah, he's a superstar. There's a lot of good quarterbacks.
Yep.
Let's have that conversation real quick. Here's a quick interlude. I mean, you're going all the way down to, like, we got Baker 17, Mac Jones 18, Jimmy Garoppolo 20. Lawrence is 24 on this
24.
list. I'm not blowing your thing up. My point here is to say, can you guys ever remember a time where there were this many good quarterbacks in the league? Because I can't.
No, it's loaded.
He's got Goff at 30. Like, Goff played in the Super Bowl.
Goff's going to surprise people this year.
I don't get the Goff hate, and yet you're going to make an exception for Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz at 19 is absurd.
No, that's
guy
absurd.
Stinks.
Yeah, he does stink.
I don't understand how that is allowed to happen.
They hated him so much in Indy, they could not wait to get rid of him.
Couldn't wait.
Same with Philly.
Yeah. Crazy.
Next.
Higher or lower?
All right. We all agreed Deshaun Watson should be higher. He comes in at number 13. Derek Carr was 11. Kyler Murray was number 12. The rest of the teens, Matt Ryan, 14. Tannehill, 15. 16, Kirk Cousins. 17, Baker Mayfield. Takes us to 18, and Mac Jones of the New England Patriots. Higher, lower, or just right? Zegura, you kicked this one off.
Lower. You put Jimmy Garoppolo on that Patriots team last year, they're a better team. You put Trevor Lawrence gets drafted into that situation instead of Mac Jones, they're a way better team.
Justin Fields in that situation, they're a way better team.
Yes, so
lower. Jared Goff, a better team. No, yes, lower.
I find that ranking very surprising.
Yeah.
Next.
Same.
Higher or lower?
That takes us to number 20, and Jimmy Garoppolo. Obviously, we're going to have him a little higher than a couple people. How high are you willing to go here? Jimmy Garoppolo, Beau Bishop.
I would put him behind Matt Ryan.
Ooh,
I was going to say 15. That's unbelievable. I was going to say the exact same thing. He's done more. He's accomplished more than Tannehill.
He's better than Tannehill. He's been better than Cousins.
Yep.
He's proven it in the postseason. Yeah, I'd have him behind Matt Ryan. I'd have him 15.
I kind of like if you were to go – so there's the top tier, put Watson in at 9. Then I almost put Lamar Jackson in his own tier at 10. And then my next tier after that would probably be Kyler, Carr, and Prescott, those 3. And that gets you – and then the next tier would be Ryan would be at the top of that tier, but Garoppolo right behind him.
With Cousins and Tannehill.
Sure. And then a hard cut again.
Yeah.
Next.
Higher or lower?
I'm baffled that Daniel Jones is number 21.
Hold on. This whole stretch.
This is where it
this
gets.
Stretch is borderline insanity.
18, 19, 21, 22, 23 are not better than 24.
No.
Yeah. 21 is Daniel Jones. 22, Beau's favorite quarterback, Zach Wilson. 23 is Justin Fields, who has nothing around him, so I don't know why you're putting him at 23.
He's going to be incomplete.
Let me tell you something. If Zach Wilson is any good, they're going to be.
They should be very interesting.
Corey Davis, Garrett Wilson, and Elijah Moore is a baller.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lawrence at 24 is the joke.
Yeah,
that's an absolute
that's where
joke.
I'm going.
That's a joke.
That's
Lawrence.
like saying, like, okay, you're even for this year, certainly if you were doing a 3-year window, like everybody they're taking him over everybody outside of the top 10, 11, 12, 13. Maybe if you got that, from Matt Ryan down, everybody's taking Trevor Lawrence on this list.
Of course.
100%. And maybe some even above Matt Ryan.
I'll tell you, it gets worse. It's even worse after this. Like, what he did to Goff is just laughable, man.
Mitch Trubisky over Goff. Mariota over Goff.
Winston, Hurts, Trubisky, Mariota, and Tua Tagovailoa all over Goff.
Hurts so good.
Come on, man. Wentz at 19. Come on, Chris. What are we even doing here, man?
Yeah. I mean, if you just look at some of these. And by the way, what does it say about Seattle's quarterback situation that their starter is number 40 on this list?
It says that they're going to draft C.J. Stroud, is what it says. It says they're going to go 2-15, and they're going to play these two to make sure that they do.
Yep.
And they're going to draft number 1 overall, and they're going to get their pick of the quarterbacks.
Ahead
and they're going to flip it quickly because there's a lot. They got a lot of weapons there. It's going to be 1 year of bad for them, and they'll bounce back quickly.
I would have put Tyler Huntley ahead of some of these guys on that second list.
I mean, what he did from, honest to God, what he did from 18 to 32 is a joke. Laughable, man.
Geno Smith at 33, Sam Darnold 32, Trey Lance at 31. Any updates from Pedro on Trey Lance?
They're bullish. I was reading stuff on them this morning.
He's
they
got
love him.
More horsepower than even he knows.
Yeah, the people are.
All of a sudden, the lights come on. That's what he said. Everybody's saying the lights come on.
There you go. Lights are on. People are home.
People are home.
The Goff one's is probably the worst.
I
Goff
don't
at 30
get
is
that.
really laughable. Goff behind Trubisky, Mariota, Winston, Hurts, Daniel Jones. I think that Lions team could be really frisky.
Yeah.
In the NFC North, I do.
The Bears aren't going to be good.
No, the Bears are going to.
The Vikings.
I'm still not sure the pack is going to be everything we think it's going to be.
Yeah, no, I agree, but they'll still have Rodgers, so they'll win the division. And then the Vikings are the Vikings, and then, I think they could make a run at the Vikings for second.
Yeah.
By the way, the Houston Texans, vehemently disagree with this list.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they sure do.
Because they could have gotten for free Chris Sims' 17th quarterback.
Yeah. Well, I don't think
to start over his 35th quarterback, and they're like, nah.
Well, I think both them and the Seahawks and probably the Falcons all have the same idea. I think all those teams are headed for the bottom, and in a good quarterback draft, we'll take pick of the litter.
Yeah.
All right. That's today's and this week's edition of Higher or Lower, presented by the Ohio Lottery.
All right, good job out of you, Gibby. It's a mailbag edition of the program. Get your mailbag questions into Gibby. Hashtag AskCBD. You got one? You got a
Let's
point?
just say real quick. So what's amazing about this, you look at the top 10 quarterbacks in the league in our rankings.
Yep.
3 of them in our division. 3 of them in the AFC West.
Mm-hmm.
So that means 6 of them in the AFC, in addition to Josh Allen, who's the lone in his. So 7 of the top 10.
That's right.
And then you think about, so then it's Brady and Stafford and Rodgers are the only NFC ones.
And Wilson. No, Russ isn't. That's right.
he's Denver.
No, those 3. And then Dak would be the 4th.
Would be the 4th, but he's in that, to us.
Yeah, to us, he's
Derek
in the
Carr,
Kyler and him, yeah.
So 7 of the top 10 in this conference, and the point I was going to make even beyond that is Brady is, as you mentioned, old.
Yeah.
Rodgers is old. Stafford is old.
That's right.
The guys in the AFC, with the exception of Russell Wilson, not old. Not any of them.
No. All haven't even reached their prime, you'd argue.
Correct.
None of them even reached their
a
middle to
decade.
late 20s. I mean,
Right.
it could be this way for a very, very long time.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, that's why go back to the Watson deal, and we're like, when we thought we were out, we're like, oh, I get it. Go to the NFC South.
Yeah,
Be
the
king
AFC
down
is an
there.
arms race. Go to the
Go down
NFC.
there. There's nothing down there, man. Yeah, it is. It's wild. Absolutely wild. Rumpke Waste Recycling, family owned and operated. Whether you join them as a customer or as an employee, you'll become part of the family. Visit rumpke.com to learn more. Ask CBD coming up next on a Friday edition of Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland. Well, it's a Mailbag Friday presented by Vivid Seats, official fan experience partner of your Cleveland Browns. Browns fans, the NFL schedule is out. You can be there live for every touchdown and tackle. Check out vividseats.com to find tickets, browse exclusive fan experience packages, and earn unbeatable rewards. Hello, Gibby.
Hello. While Washington might have the worst stadium from a radio standpoint, from like the whole fan experience thing, New Year's Eve in D.C. might not be the worst thing that you could do from a travel.
We'll have to do that as
trip.
we get into July. Maybe go over the opponents, do an opponent like a road scouting trip. Here's what to do, how we would do this.
Oh, yeah. Let's
we can pick
do that.
hotels.
What bars I'm going to be in?
Absolutely. Of course, pick the bars, pick the restaurants, pick the hotels. What we would do if you came in on a Saturday, sites from the area.
Yes.
Between the three of us, we've been to every one of these cities and
That's
would know
right.
them probably well.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Absolutely.
We can do that. Book that for July.
Yes,
Write that
sir.
down.
We'll need a decent amount of content. We're going to need a few other
It's
things.
going to be cake. It's safe.
Save a couple of big B's, Gibby.
It's safe. That'll be news.
Rory had a good drive. John Rahm's struggling. He got to 3 under, and now he's in trouble.
I like Gibby's golf commentary.
Yeah, it's quite on point.
You don't know what it means. You don't know what hole.
People out there are just walking around. That's
I-
all that's going on.
We went out
Milling
there
about.
during the commercial break,
That's right.
and I was
No one's doing anything.
There's a lot
dogs
of
and
milling.
cats living together, mass hysteria.
It's almost like if they need like an authority figure to come on and say, "Look, you can go home."
They should. It's
They
friends.
should.
We
Go home.
appreciate
Get
the
out of here.
effort. Let's
Yeah.
call
It's
it
been
a
a-
day.
been a long week. Let's leave it at that.
I was hoping to go home at the conclusion of this program. Not.
Why? What do you got to do?
I had gibligations earlier.
Gibligations.
I thought I had
That
my
is pretty
Friday
good.
all laid out, and then all of
You're
a
all
sudden
set
he
up?
was like, "Oh, not only did I need you to stay late earlier this week and do, which I was glad, happy to do, and do the interview with David Njoku for
Sure.
the BPA,
For the-
a.k.a. Zegura and Friends." So I did the interview.
Yep.
Last night he's like, "Don't hate me, but I need you to do the whole show. So I need you to do the open and the close with me and basically the whole show."
The whole Zegura and Friends.
Yeah. So, but he said to me, "Hey, no worries. It's going to be."
I had it planned out.
We'll tape this at afternoon, then we'll get some lunch, and it'll be
We'll be
great.
done.
And I was like, fine. So I got here at 11, so I was going to work
Knock
out.
it out.
And
Yep.
then he dropped another gibligation on me last second.
Gibligation.
No.
That is not my come on.
Not-
You have to admit that is not my fault.
I-
And I had everything timed out. I told you it would take 15 minutes. It took 17.
You are good about that. There are a few people who have a better understanding of time than Gibby. When he says this should take us about 15 minutes, it usually is about 15
Like if I
minutes.
said something like that, it would take 30
For sure.
tops.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
Yeah, he's right on it.
minimum.
He's
Yeah.
he's right on
You're
it.
very
Yeah.
good. No, and the second gibligation was not his fault.
Yeah.
But without the pure gibligation, even with the springing gibligation, I still would have been able to get my workout in.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to have to work out, and then I got a big night tonight. Tonight's a big
night?
big night.
What do you got? What do you got?
Huge night at the Odeon. You should get the boys.
I love
I don't know
the
why
Odeon.
you're not there. I don't know why you're not coming.
Is it for them? Are they?
Oh, they would
I don't
enjoy
know.
it. There's no doubt. Tonight, AIW presents Gangsta Rap Made Me Do It. All night, every match.
Sounds like something right
There's
up
gonna
Bootsy's
come
alley.
Hold on.
I'll tell you, my oldest is really into this. He's watching all this
Every
stuff now.
match.
Yeah.
No DQ, no countouts. All night Extreme Rules. Fans can bring whatever they want to see if the wrestler decides to utilize that in a
That's
match.
probably not for them.
We could have a balcony dive tonight from the Odeon. Last time there was a match of great importance contested under these types of stipulations at the Odeon, somebody went off the balcony. You could see that tonight. I'll be there on commentary. Huge
Is there
show.
any chance you're going in the ring?
No. Huge show. Huge
I don't
show.
know. He was calling me out
You
when
were
we taped
fighting
the
people last
podcast
time,
earlier
yeah.
today, saying he'd meet me at the ring.
You
I
are
said, I don't think
That's because you had put gibligations on me. I would scrap with you, but I mean, you know my guy Broner. I've been talking about him. He's taking on Manders. That is going to be just an absolute slugfest. Bishop, who had just won the gauntlet for the gold, which is their kind of like a Royal Rumble.
Yep.
Which gets him the title shot at Absolution, which is against Matt Cardona. But my buddy tore his bicep.
Right.
He's out. But there's still a pick your poison match. So Cardona's going to name Bishop's opponents for the evening, or opponent, I should say, for the evening in the pick your poison match. So you know that's going to be a good one. There's a lot of stuff. Eric Young, Wes Barkley. I think that could steal the show. Six-way scramble. The debut of Bandito and Jack Evans in AIW. So high flyers. Yeah. It's going to be an awesome show.
All right. Yeah. Gonna be fun.
Miss K is actually coming She's going to go to the
You're throwing her into that.
Hold on. Pre-show dinner.
Gauntlet?
She's going to come and watch one match. She said 1 or 2 matches, and then that's it. But she wants to see me.
Is she safe?
Working.
The princess?
We're going to be up in the balcony. We're going to be in the.
You need to walk in with her.
She's not going to. We'll be in.
I just picture a Miss Elizabeth situation. And you can't have that.
I'm going to walk in with her on my shoulder.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
In the robe. Yeah. I should do that.
If there's ever an opening, if there's ever a chance for me to be like a Bobby the Brain Heenan in this, I would love to.
I'm sure there'd
and
be a
just
chance,
be a complete heel. I would love
start.
to do it.
You got to come tonight, and I'll make the introductions.
Too short.
I know the people.
Too short a notice. There'll come.
You have obligations, anyways.
I know. Yeah, I got things I got to do.
I feel like who called for this traveling music to interrupt my story? I was in the middle of.
Well, no. I just wanted to play it underneath you while you were going.
Oh, okay.
We're not even.
So keep going.
No,
you're fine.
I
got 7
think there
minutes
might be legitimately only 5 tickets left to this event. So if you like professional wrestling, get out there. My man Derek Dillinger.
I think you've sold it.
You got to go. I mean, I'm more excited.
Yeah.
I was texting with some of the guys and even the promoter, and I was like, I think this is the most excited I've been for an AIW show in my whole tenure with the company, and it's well founded. Like this card is stacked, and the matches are going to be insane. It's going to be intense. It's absolute intense. Tonight it's going to be absolutely intense.
I can't wait. There's going to come a time when I take the boys to this type of thing. The oldest one's getting close. He's getting close. He's into the WWE, the Monday Friday stuff. Yeah,
SmackDown.
Not sure I'm going to handle tonight.
He's apparently talking.
I know.
Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
That's right. Threw the script out. I don't know how that could go. Who knows?
I will be DVRing it.
Isn't it Raw or Smack? Which one's coming here soon? Don't we have one coming?
Raw's coming in August.
Yeah.
Yeah. That might be something I could. That
I'm
might
just
be
saying.
that
Before
might be
school.
Yeah. Yep. If I could ever get tickets, I don't know if I can get tickets. Let's see.
Maybe.
Unbelievable.
It's a Mailbag Friday edition of the program.
Oh, God, Meckling's on fire.
Tweet your
He's
questions.
all over the map, though, I got to say on this one. He's a little all over the map.
Tweet your questions to @Browns_daily. Use the hashtag AskCBD. All right, first things first. Matt McComas tweets at the show, how has Isaiah Weston looked so far? Any shot at him making the team? What about the rest of the UFAs? Who has stood out? Matt in Strongsville.
Weston has great size. He's got great speed, so you can see that. I think he's a little bit raw as a route runner. Do I think that he is going to make the roster at this point? I'd say he's in the competition, trying to earn a spot. But what is more likely, as I see it from him, is this is somebody who on the practice squad you would hope with some seasoning time with a great coach like our Chad O'Shea that he can become, a player in the future. So I definitely think keep an eye on him. We'll see. As I said, unique size and speed combination from Weston, certainly amongst our wide receiver room as well, as he stands at 6'4", 214, so out of Northern Iowa. Like him, give him a chance. Another guy that I would say that's caught the eye, certainly of the coaches, would be DeAnthony Bell, who is a safety out of West Florida, number 37. I know Jeff Howard has been pleased with what he's seen so far from DeAnthony Bell, giving him some work in some of the dime packages, and so they've liked that thus far.
Lance tweets at the show @Browns_daily using the hashtag AskCBD. What's the most embarrassing moment that happened to you during school growing up? I remember being dumped in like the 7th grade, not in front of everybody, but everybody knew quickly. Yeah. I remember that being particularly painful. 6th grade, 7th grade, something like that. There was a breakup that would, unfortunate. Hate to hear it.
I remember I won the spelling bee, and this guy Armando called me a nerd.
How dare he? How dare he?
I said, can you even spell that?
Kentucky Fried Christian asks, waffles or pancakes?
Waffles.
Nooks, crannies.
Yeah, you'd have the nooks and crannies. If you're going to do it, what's the point? Pancakes, the only pancakes that I think that are worth a damn are like the Rock's banana pancakes. Like I make those for the boys, the banana coconut pancakes. Those are really good. But other than that,
the
oh my
bottom
God,
line
the Rock's pancakes are unbelievable.
I would still.
They're unbelievable. The banana pancakes are unbelievable.
Waffle 1. So you make a banana French toast. I prefer a French toast to a pancake. I don't
Same.
eat this stuff ever, but pancakes are at the bottom.
They're at the bottom of the list.
Absolute
I agree.
bottom.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Richie Fox.
Richie!
At Browns_Daily using the
Is he-
hashtag
is-
AskCBD. Where will you be hosting the show when Top Golf comes to First Energy Stadium?
When is that?
I believe it's the first week of training camp.
Oh,
So
really?
we will not be there.
Come on. You gotta be kidding.
Sorry,
How is that
Richie.
possible? We would be there if we could have done a show from there. If it would
about,
have been,
about a week earlier. So we
yeah,
could
do it a
be
week
there.
early so we could go.
Sad.
Hate to see it, Ned.
Sad.
Yeah, exactly. All right, meshling time.
Oh, God.
Let's go, Bobby.
Hey, Bobby!
Hey,
Bobby! What is your answer to the criticism that this is the worst sports show in Cleveland?
A wolf does not concern himself with the opinions of sheep.
That's right. I don't even know. I've never even
who's
heard
given
that.
those takes.
Right, because you're a lion.
That's right.
And you're not worried
Never heard
about
of
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sad.
By the way, I have I've created this little sound folder.
Uh-huh.
Yesterday, you, sir, are a liar.
Oh, yeah.
Strong.
Oh,
It is.
It is great.
That was good.
First celebrity crush.
I still say he was falling on that. I don't count it as a drop. No big deal. What?
First celebrity crush?
First celebrity
Didn't we do- I
crush.
feel like
Thanks
we
for
did
paying
this.
attention, bud.
Like I said, Paul Abdul, and I stand by it.
You definitely had a crush before Paul Abdul. That was like late 80s. Like you had one
No
before
way.
that.
I
yeah,
feel like I
for
was
sure.
in like 3rd or 4th grade.
No. I've got two. I got three for you. I got Daisy Duke, Heather Locklear, Heather Thomas, the fall guy.
Ooh. Wow.
That's right.
Segura,
CBS
what are
Friday
you
night
doing?
was big in my house.
I'm looking up when Paul Abdul was. I guarantee I was still in. I
Like
don't
Forever
think
My Girl was like late 80s. You had a crush
Yes.
before you were 12 or 10.
Yeah. I'm
For
I
sure.
did.
Yeah, come on. A
Cindy
man of your
Crawford?
appetites.
When was Cindy Crawford around?
After.
Elle McPherson?
That would have been
Right in the wheelhouse.
around there, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So, Segura, do you have one, or are you?
Forever Your Girl, 1987. I was 9 years old. Why not?
Feels like you would have had a crush at like 6, a man of your appetite.
All right, we've got
know,
a
but I
minute
don't remember-
left.
what do I remember
I
from
don't
being
even know
6?
where this.
What do I remember from?
shouldn't
What do you
have
remember
asked
about being
this
6?
question, Clearly.
All I remember
Remember
was
Daisy Duke.
You know what I remembered? Setting the Bay Area record in the 25-yard
Whoa.
freestyle. That's what I remember at the age of 6.
60 seconds.
Yeah.
The question of the
No,
day
it was
just
actually
coming
like- it
in
was
from
like 18
Ethan
seconds.
Adams.
All right,
like
go.
18
Go.
seconds.
Segura,
go.
who is better betwixt Montana and George?
Oh, baby.
Come on.
Listen, I mean, the answer is clearly Joe, Montana. But Jeff George has the best arm in the history of the world. Prove me wrong.
So much more.
I don't know. Like David really got Goliath. It's a hell of an arm.
Attacked his Achilles heel.
Different. So much more to come. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. What a week.
It's crazy. And, Father's Day coming up. Happy Father's Day to you.
And to you, and to Gibbe.
And to Gibbe, Peepaw. So I've gotten to the point in my life where it's like I just pick out my own Father's Day gift, and I'm fine with it. I get exactly what I want.
I'm just saying, could be. It was. I give
Come
you
on,
this.
I was gonna get
I'll
to
give
a
it
whole,
to you. It would have been a great way, but at the same time,
it's gonna be my walk off.
Yeah,
Now I have nothing.
Yeah,
Now
we
you
don't know.
silence
You
me.
never know. You never know who's listening. You never know. Could be out. I knew where you were going right away. You never know.
I'm in trouble.
You never know. What's your? Give me your number. U.S. Open final number. What is it?
7.
6. I'm going 5. The way it's going so far today.
I'll take 6. Then.
By the way,
it'll be right around there.
Dangerous Phil plus 11. Out.
Yeah. And out.
Got
We'll see you
Father's
on
Day
down the
weekend
road.
off.
30.
Yeah, that'll work. Have a great weekend. Happy Father's Day to all of you out there celebrating.
Yes.
The next level is coming up next. We're back Tuesday. Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland.